The wind is pretty strong. Butterflies holding on tight. So I want to get the melon hammocks on here and try to pick tall and medium and smalls. And then you're gonna make yourself a gorgeous bouquet. See how many cucumbers we get. This is our third big picking, whole bin of cucumbers. This is Sunrise Bumblebee. These plum regal are so thick. So I got the red, I got the orange and green. So I got 3 eggplants. Hi, welcome back to the garden. I'm Dawn. It is the first nice day after Hurricane Debbie kind of went through. We had so much rain for like 5 days, but the 3 days in a row we got 4 inches, like constantly, and tremendous winds. I have some video of the winds in the garden, so I'll put that in here so you can see just how nice this netting really helps in wind. And then we'll be doing a whole bunch of little things in the garden and check everything out, see how everything did during the hurricane. So this is why we put the netting up. We're actually in a tornado watch for New Jersey, and we are never in a tornado watch around 3, 4 o'clock. It's around 1 o'clock right now. So the winds are starting to pick up with this Hurricane Debbie remnants. So far the netting's keeping everything upright. And hear that wind. Butterflies holding on strong. Oh, look at my poor zucchinis over here. We had a lot of rain so far in the last 2 days. Look at my tomatoes that are really up high are really reaching over now with the wind. Hopefully my sunflower makes it till tomorrow. He's way above my strings. Oh, it's good I got my netting up on this the other day. Yeah, so the melons are looking pretty sad. The wind really knocked them out. And he knocked a couple of them on the ground, and that one was getting ripe. So I want to get my netting up on these. I'll do the little melon hammocks. So these are new melons that I planted this year. I know they're looking pretty ratty, but hopefully they will still ripen and be okay. With the reviews on this melon, they said that as soon as they turn ripe, they fall off. So I want to get the melon hammocks on here, and you can buy them. They sell them, but they're really big for like watermelons. And I just like to make my own. I just use my netting, my insect netting that I use for my broccoli from previous years. It gets dirty, but it's fine to do this. So I'll show you how I make them. All right, so this is my insect netting. I cut it into strips like this big, and that's about 14 inches. So I do 14 by 14 or 16 by 16. I just eye it up. I don't really measure. So what I do is I just cut it into a square. Basically, it doesn't have to be perfect. So then you just fold it in half, and you take the 4 corners and put the 4 corners together. You fold it in half again. And then you just make a hole in the netting. So now you have a hole on each corner of the netting. And what I use to attach it to the trellis, or if you have cattle panels, these are the clips that you tie up your vegetables with, like tomatoes and stuff like that. So I started by putting 2 corners on, and then I'll set the melon in here and attach it to the netting. Okay, so here's my melon. I just slip it on like that. Put this one through the hole. And you got all 4 of them in. And then you just clip it on to wherever it's gonna stay kind of tight. And so there you go, a melon hammock made out of your old insect netting. So I'll get the rest of these on. With the weather this year, I don't have as many melons as I would like, but we'll see what happens. I make these up ahead of time. So I have this one all ready to go. So you just slide the melon in. Slide the melon in. Just put these through here and then just clip it onto your netting. And there. I got a couple more little ones, I'll do those. Tom needs to get the ones up top. All right, so there's a look at it. Or maybe it will help keep the birds and the squirrels away too. All right, so first things first, Tom is gonna fertilize. We do this together. He does a liquid fertilizer through the hose, and he does this about every 2 weeks. It goes right in there and then gets suctioned out. It goes right through the hose when we're watering. And so this is how it works. I don't know if you can see the air bubbles going up. He's just flushing it. Okay, he's just running the hose a minute. Make sure the fertilizer is getting through. And now he's gonna fertilize everything. We'll do all the beds. So I'll tape him for a minute and then I'll help him. So this will give everything a nice little boost. Like I said, he does it about every 2 weeks. All right, so I'm gonna pick some flowers. They made it through the storm okay. So I always pick a nice fresh bouquet on the weekend. So I'll start with my fillers. I gotta make sure I cut from the other side too. Oh, and I got some, this is finally blooming. I put some of my tall salvias in here and they're just starting to bloom. All right, Put this over here. So what I'm doing now is I'm going to put everything in this bucket, and then I'll make up a bouquet in a little while. So I try to pick plenty. Let's get a couple zinnias. Now this side of my zinnias, unlike the other side over there, has a lot of pink for some reason. I have to come trim the older ones off later. Get some of this Vibina. So this Mexican sunflower is great. And it does hold up in a vase. The only thing, you have to be very careful when you pick it, because it's very delicate. So as long as you don't bend it and break it before you put it in a vase, it will last. Let's see. The wind knocked a whole bunch of these down. So I'll take about that much for now. I don't want to take too much because the hummingbirds just love that. Get some zinnias from over here. These reds are gorgeous. Now, even if the flower is kind of funky and hanging over, that's what's nice to put it on your vase to hang out. Yes, and I'm already looking for new zinnias for next year. I want to get some new colors. So I've been having a lot of fun looking at flowers seed catalogs lately. Let's put these over here. So here's my asters I've been waiting for. They're not all ready, but there are a couple. This peach is so gorgeous. Let's see if I can pick this whole stem. The purples aren't as ready as the peach. These will go in their own vase. Look how gorgeous those colors are. And then I'll put some fillers around them, and I'll put this in a little small vase. These are too pretty to go with the other ones. These are the multi-stems. So these are going to be short, so I'll have to put them at the bottom of the vase. I have a whole bunch more that I want to put out, because I was afraid to do it while the rain and wind was going on. Oh, maybe I'll put these with my asters since they're small. Another thing you can put in your flower vases is other things. Grasses with the little poofs on the top. Herbs make a great addition to flower arranging. This one's not flowering yet. A lot of times I let them flower on purpose, and then you get these beautiful stalks of flowers, and it smells really nice. But they make a nice little accent. I have some other herbs in the herb bed. We can go get a couple of those. So here are the herbs. Now, what's nice, and I'll probably plant a lot more, is sage, especially like the colored sages. I don't use that much for cooking, but I will put a sprig or two in my flower arrangements. And here's oregano. This is getting old. Take a couple sprigs. And then I have my perennial down here. This always makes a really nice little accent to your bouquets. And this also makes everything smell really nice. Yeah, so that should be nice. So you just add this to your bouquets. And also, for when you're making bouquets, don't just look for your flowers. Weeds make nice fillers. These are like the little grass tufts, like I was saying. So you can put these in there, and they just look gorgeous with the flowers. If you have shrubs like hydrangeas, and purple beautyberry is gorgeous in these. It's too early for those. So you got the sage, You got the grass tufts, you got the asters and the sunflowers. And try to pick tall and medium and smalls. And then you're gonna make yourself a gorgeous bouquet. All right, so I'll move this out of the way and I'll bring it up to the house. And then we have to pick some cucumbers and some peppers. And with this big wind, I have some zucchini. I saw one fell on the ground. I got some leaves I have to clip up. And I have tomatoes I have to pick because some of them are cracking from all that rain. And I have so many cherry tomatoes, so I have to get them picked. Okay. Oh, our tomatoes are just starting to ripen up too. So that's good. So we'll get picking these cucumbers. Season's almost over for those. I did plant new ones, and I don't know if I showed you in the last video, but the rain totally destroyed them. I have some new ones and I just potted up yesterday. So cucumbers, they were all there too. There's only a few that are surviving from my second picking of cucumbers. And these beans, they were pretty full in this one bed up to here. And the rain totally smushed them too. So we'll get picking. See how many cucumbers we get. This is our third big picking on the cucumbers. That's pretty much it for that side. That is called Cool Customer, and it has done very well. And now we're going to go on to this side. And this is the one I have 4 different types of pickling cucumbers, and on the end down there on that side I have a couple of the straights slicers. So far this year I canned 60 quarts of garlic dill pickles. Tom eats a jar a week. So we still have some from last year, because last year the cucumbers were like super amazing. Everything was. Last year we had the perfect weather, perfect rain. We had an overabundance of everything, which was fantastic. So this year is doing a little less than that, but with the conditions we've had, we're still getting a good amount of food. So let me finish picking. Now you can see some of these cucumbers, like this guy, is only a short little fatty. That means it didn't get pollinated enough. But most of them have been perfect. Oh, we got some nice straight 8s down here. All right, so we got a whole bin of cucumbers. Now if you saw the last 2 pickings, we've gotten 2 bins. So this is great for the 3rd picking. Oh, the hummingbird's here. Oh, you're not gonna be able to see him. By the time I get down there, he will be gone. He's on the Mexican sunflower. He's on the other side. Can you see him? He's up there. Oh, he's sitting over by my zucchini. Now we're going to pick our indeterminate tomatoes. I have 2 rows of indeterminate. On each end I have a cherry type tomato or a grape, and then all in the middle are my slicers. And see what the rain does? It splits them. So I have to get all these off. These are perfect. These are my grape tomatoes. These are called Nova. So if you like grape tomatoes, I like cooking with tomatoes. These hold up in cooking really well. So they're really good to add to any kind of food. And I have a whole bunch of my yellow tomatoes here. These are my yellow. These are the slicers. This is Goldie, We've been eating those. I've been competing with my squirrel who keeps taking my tomatoes. And my favorite types of tomatoes are these. This is Sunrise Bumblebee. This is delicious. But my all-time favorite are these. This is called Blush. That's this type. This is a Blush artisan tomato. And this is a Cherry Drop. You know, with cherries, they like to fall off. So a lot of times I like to keep a container out and then put them in here and then just dump them in. Our beans held up pretty good. We have a couple that kind of wilted out, but on the whole, they're really looking good after all that rain we had. And oh, I got a lot of these. These are my Plum Regal. We'll pick some of these. These Plum Regal are so thick and really good for making sauce. I'm gonna pick some peppers, and I use a lot of peppers. So I'm basically picking the peppers for the week, which will be a lot. I recently said last time in a video that I like these. I remember the name. They're called Prism because they have different color peppers on the same plant. So you don't just have green and then all of a sudden they all turn red. There's always like all different colors on it. Those are the small ones. I have to go on the back to pick a couple because I'm always picking on this side. And my flowers are gonna be in my way, but I have some nice ones on this side. Some yellows. And I actually like when the peppers turn colors or sweeter. That's when I like them best. So I got an array of colors. Let's see if I have any Black Beauty. This one is actually called Dragonfly. Black Beauty is more like a traditional bell shape, and Dragonfly is more like in between a bell and a horn. Both taste very yummy. That's a traditional Black Beauty. All right, I think this might be enough. Oh yeah, now that it's starting to finally cool off, we're getting flowers back on the peppers, so we should get a whole new flush. All right, let's go put these back. So I gotta get my zucchini off of here. It just grows like crazy. Have this one here. Got one here. This one actually looks like it fell off in the storm. Those winds were tremendous. That's a baby patty pan squash. Here's a whole bunch more. Here's one ready to be picked. Down here, they usually come right off. So that's a patty pan squash. Then I gotta check because they hide. I have another one. I'm gonna pick it small because they grow so fast. And the small ones are a little bit more tender. And they last a long time in the refrigerator. I still have, I think, 3 from last week. So you see here, I have this little squash here. He's about, what's that, like 8 inches. I'll let them get a little bit bigger, but they grow so fast. If I let it go too long, it will be big like those. That's it for the regular squashes. All right, as Tom's watering that, I'm just gonna pick some of this kohlrabi that I have here. while Tom's watering, I'm just gonna get this kohlrabi. So here's my hot peppers. The Hungarian wax peppers are doing great. So I'll take a couple of these reds because they're very mature. What's nice about them, they're all colors. So I got the red, I got the orange and green. So I have some eggplant that's ready. So I got 3 eggplants. I got the oriental and the 2 regular eggplants. And it's gonna be fun eating these. All right, that's it for this video. We got a lot of stuff picked for this week. We got our 3rd picking of cucumbers, which is pretty good. And we got plenty of zucchini, peppers, and some kohlrabi and eggplant. And our first picking of the plum tomatoes isn't bad. That just started. And we got lots of slicers and lots of cherries. And one of my favorites to do in the garden is pick a bouquet of flowers. And don't be afraid to experiment. Like I said, get some weeds, get some herbs, put some cutting flowers in your garden. It just makes it so much more enjoyable to come out here and just see flowers, especially after all that rain we had all week. And I'll put them in a vase in the house, and I'll try to take a picture of it and show you at the end. So I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you come back and watch our garden grow. And thanks for watching. Bye-bye. All right, here's a quick look at the flowers. So I made 2 bouquets out of them. So the first bouquet I made is the asters. I got the peach asters and the purple asters and my little fillers in here and my little blue argyritums in here. And I like sometimes very simple. I really like these flowers, so I don't want to overwhelm it with a whole bunch of different colors. So this is my simple vase. Oh, and I have my 2 little yellow sunflowers just to add a little extra color. And my second vase I stuffed. And it has my zinnias, it has the Mexican sunflowers, and it has all kinds of different colors. It has the celotias, all my fillers. This right here is actually my oregano that's in flower, and all different kinds of things. Sunflowers down here. There's my pretty red zinnias. But here's a look at this bouquet. And then if you get a flower that doesn't last, you just snip that one off and it's so full that you won't even notice. So there's a look at my 2 bouquets I made with the flowers that I picked today.